Vincenzo'S Go Crypto Investing and another nightly update. And I just put out swing trade number 2, or trading with Vincenzo for members of Jabroni Killers exclusively at Vincenzo'S Go Crypto Investing. Jabroni Killer members, check out that, become a member, support the channel. Fiscal and Monetary Policy Fridays and Commodity Mondays. Lots of things going on over there that you need to be educated on in order to put the probabilities into your favor in order to fleece, heist, and shiest the market manipulators and the whales out there and government and businessmen that rig the markets, right? The first trade that we put out there with trading with Vincenzo, it was a 15% gain all day long. I chose to sit in it longer, trying to hope it held support to play a much higher gain. It didn't, and I cashed out at 6.25% profit, right? And anybody that was in the trade with me, all the coins we were looking at pumped 12 to 25%, and they all had 2 days to get out of the trade with that much profit. I was trying to play something much bigger and put a stop loss because I can't watch the market like that enough, and it got tripped on its way down, which I was fine with. And I just put out my second trade. One I'm in, and the other one I think there's a potential if it comes down to a low enough point where I have buy orders in, where I think we could have a nice pump, right? But it is not this coin. The coins that we want to look at right now is Bitcoin. And you can see Bitcoin has been playing support and resistance on this blue fib circle. If we zoom out, right, let's go to the 3-hour time frame. It's been trading on this 1.618 Fibonacci. It's been getting rejected, then it pumps over, flushes, rejected, then it pumps through, right, then rejection. It's been acting as support and resistance along with this orange one in tandem. These two rings have been where most of your action's been taking place, with support and resistance between this blue ring right here that's uptrending and this orange ring right here that intersected that's descending. Most of the price action the last 2.5 months has been interacting between these two, right? And when it pumps, when it gets below it, this acts as resistance, comes down, this tries to act as support and resistance, then resistance, and it pumps up, then support and resistance, and it flushes, right? This has been a major area, and it's let us know what's been going on here. And what you could say is happening here in the 4-hour time frame is a big consolidation, right? And you could look at it a couple of different ways depending on where you believe the market's going, right? We didn't need to zoom out that far. We don't need the daily. The 4-hourly is sufficient. You can see this consolidation. This is your high, right? And we've been in this consolidation now for a while. You could say you got some overhead resistance forming there. See that? And then you could see some underneath support where we have multiple hits on it too, right here. See that? See what we're talking about here? After a huge fall that was essentially a falling channel, now we're in this consolidation. Could this be a consolidation to the upside? And if it is a consolidation to the upside, your targeted move in Bitcoin would be from the bottom to the top to the point of a breakout. Even on my laptop, it's going to make it difficult. To the point of a breakout, say it broke out 3/4 of the way through, which is usually what they do. That would give you, look at that, look how convenient that is. That would give you that upper target that's got a 6.69% chance of happening up here to hit. And that would be a price of $53,000. Look how that lines up beautifully, right? See, that lines up beautifully with past upper resistance here, which looks like head and shoulders topping reversal pattern, right? Where you got your left shoulder, your head, and then this would be a huge right shoulder, but it would put you up in line with what happened. Let's slide this over back here, left on the chart, where you had a pump and a left shoulder and then a big head, right? And then a pump down in the 4-hour time frame. So this could be major upper resistance, and you could indeed come up to there, and that's why we do have this as our upper target. But on the breakdown, if this is a bearish continuation pattern, right? They can break down. They don't have to break up. They can break down. But if this did break down, you can see 3/4 of the way through, right there. Look at that. It lines up beautifully with our 32,596 dollars. See that? And it's on the blue ring down here, the 2.618 coming down from the 1.618. You can see how this is a super simple, easy chart pattern with only a few indicators. We draw our lines out of a falling a rising wedge here, right? We have our moving averages that I like, and you can put the moving averages that you like on, right? And you can see I like to use a couple of fib circles that give me support and resistance lines that are throughout. I like to draw the patterns when there's a pattern to be drawn, like we just did right here. I have the simple volume on there, and then 3 moving averages. I like the 50, the 100, and the 200 in red, blue, and green as I continue to watch light to moderate snowfall, as we have a early spring little snowstorm in the greater Bloomington metropolitan area in central Illinois, right? So it's awfully nice outside. But this is what I do, and this is how I break it down as I start getting more and more into Jabroni Killer's content, as I have some more free time and I start getting more organized on there, where I break down trades super simple and easy to help you sidestep and profit, and to help you go into your own markets that you like to play, and coins and stocks that you're watching, and you can learn to use the same simple trading, technical trading system and style that old Vincenzo uses to make profitable trades. And you can start to make profitable trades on your own by taking these super simple, easy steps to trade this manipulated market. And that's what you can see we're looking at in Bitcoin right now. So that's why I always go from a far out time frame. And then if we go to the weekly time frame, which is too far out, but you can see what we had, you can see all the stuff I have out in the far out time frame that doesn't make any sense when you're zoomed overly too far out. But you can see, right, we've had this peak, right, the double top, the mountain double top, and now this consolidation that could bring you right up here to where you come up, and now you formed a huge pennant formation, which a double top would be bearish. I would think it would come down, right, to form all this, and then you have a little hump here, and then you get down into here. But that's why you start from the far out time frame and work your way in. It's another Vincenzo trading rule, because then you see this pattern with the support and resistance that it's been playing out, and then you zoom into the hour time frame, right, and you make these a different color, because we have too much blue on there. Let's get into some kind of a green, right? That way it's much different than what we got going on. And then you can see now what you got to watch to break this pattern is you got your upper resistance up in here, right? You got to have multiple points, 1, 2, 3, 4. That's perfect descending upper resistance. And then on the downside, you have 1, 2, 3, 4, perfect uptrending resistance. Now this is a symmetrical triangle, which is a neutral continuation pattern, but it is forming in a bearish pattern. But the pattern that it's breaking out of is a falling wedge, which is a bullish reversal pattern, but it starts in a bearish fashion. So this would make sense that it breaks out, but what you need to be watching to make a play is your lower support and your upper resistance. And look at that, your lower support and upper resistance lines up with the orange ring down here for the current immediate short time frame, right about where this red arrow is. You can see that at, let's get rid of that. You can see that at, is there another one in there? Get rid of that too if it's in there. No. You can see that right here at about $38,194, where you have your support and resistance, both of them meeting up. And then your major upper support and resistance locally is again on your upper descending upper resistance of this symmetrical triangle, but also conveniently enough lines up beautifully when we mark this with another arrow with the blue fib circle. So the orange and the blue fib circle are all coinciding with this current pattern that we're in, and that leads even more confluency to what we're in. And how you would play this is on a break up from this pattern up here, and you breach this blue ring, it's a buy. On the way down, if you breach this and the orange ring, it's a sell if you've bought in this pattern, or it's a short sell if you're shorting it, right, to the downside. Super simple, easy pattern. And that's what looks like is going on here in the Bitcoin, right? And that's going to go on with the rest of these coins, because most of these other coins, real quick before I let you go, are in the same pattern. You can see similar pattern. You're in a symmetrical triangle where your upper resistance is up here in XRP, right? Is up here, and then your lower support is down here at 72 cents and 95 cents. You're in a constricting pattern at the end of this consolidation, and you have a downside target of, let's go to the yearly. You have a downside target if you break down out of this. There we go. That's what I should always be in the yearly. This overall big symmetrical triangle, right? Where you've been playing mostly between this upper green ring here and this lower green ring as support, with the symmetrical triangle in between, but you're starting to run out of room, and a short-term downside target on the breakdown is 47 cents, but you could still tap this upper resistance before you come down here, but this is where you are eventually coming down here before you got anywhere up here, I believe, right? But I do see how you could make a nice run up and trade up even all the way up into here. There is a way I could see you getting up there. It's not likely, but it is possible. But that would be followed by a huge flush, right? This would be something that you traded up into here, and then you quickly spiked a 15 or 30% pump to end it, and then a huge flush. I am not forecasting, nor am I playing that. What's more likely is you could come back up into this moving average right here, this 200-day, right? Come back up to the 200-day here, trade down, and then bleed down and out, right? Or there's also still a way where you trade around and then you come up and do hit it towards the end down here more, and then immediately flush and come down here to your lower target. But this is a critical area to watch, this 72 cents. If you break that, you immediately come to the blue ring. Could bounce in between there, but if you break the green ring, that's where there's a huge flush in between, right? Because from the symmetrical triangle to the ring is only 15%. But from there all the way down, that's 22%, right? So 15% to 22%, it's a much bigger fall, right? So that's what's going on there in the XRP. And then the XLM will end out with. All right, a lot of people like XLM. We've been playing the ring system, and in the next update, we'll get more in on XLM and how good this ring system's been calling it. But this is a simple, if you hold this 17 cents down here, this dotted line, you can make a run back up here to 22 cents. And maybe even get higher. That hasn't happened so far. We've been very bearish, and you can see we're in the same kind of bear pennant formation, similar, but this is more of a descending triangle where you have descending upper resistance and then horizontal lower support, right? And you can see that beautifully. And a targeted move out of that would be from the top of this, right, to the bottom. Let's grab this to the point of a breakout, and just so happens, conveniently enough, that gets you right down to that 10-cent ring. And as you know, we've been playing the ring system down, so if you break this pennant, which is not very nicely drawn, but it's getting the point done, if you break that pennant, right, but really this dotted line here, which the ultimate support area on this is slightly lower, is right there. If you break that 16.5 to 17.5 cents, you're coming down here to your lower support that we've been watching for and been warning you guys to watch out for, and that would be where you come down to if you can't hold that, right? And then maybe that much later down the line, right, all the way down over there. But that would be for another time and another day. What you need to be most concerned about right now is if you're long-term holding or short-term swing trading or just trying to find a nice buy-in, is do you hold this 17 cents? Because if you fail to hold this 17 cents, you're going to get a much bigger fall, and it's coming all the way down to the next ring, because these rings have been hitting and holding and been working out almost to perfection. It's almost crazy how easy and simple this is to do and follow if you just have the patience and the willpower and a little bit of education, and you can trade this market to profitability in a super simple, easy manner, stress-free, and not get fleeced, heisted, and shysted by the criminal gangsters and the market manipulators that are always out there hunting and stalking the uneducated retail trader and investor to walk away with all their fucking hard-earned money, right? That's why Vincenzo's Gold Crypto Investing is here. I am here for the retail trader. I am here to teach the retail trader some of the things that I have learned through my time of trading these manipulated markets and waters, right? Peace and love. Become a member of Jabroni Killers.